It's time, episode 2 of the spray off competition. So yes, good morning. It is that time again. We are doing a spray off competition. If you haven't seen my first episode, check that one out. It will explain it a little bit more. But very briefly, anyway, for those of you that do want to just watch this one, essentially I'm doing a competition. I've got loads of fragrances down in these drawers over here. Essentially, last time I picked out 2 fragrances, sprayed them in the air, pulled the fragrances towards my face, and the one that was the strongest would come on my workout with me. So I'm going to go for a run, walk to the gym, do a gym workout, walk back, do my usual exercise essentially, and we'll have a fragrance that's the last one standing for today, and this will continue until I've used all my fragrances. Now at the end of the last video, the remaining fragrance was this one, Bentley Infinite Intense. I really like this fragrance. It's a really underrated scent. It's got a bit of a Terre d'Hermès vibe, but it's not so much that orange citrus. It's a bit more green spicy, but there is this smoky peppery feeling about this fragrance, which gives it that masculine edge and reminds me of Terre d'Hermès. So what I've done, I've pulled out my bottom drawer today. The fragrances are over here. I'm going to put one up against this, and the one that wins out of those 2 will be coming on my workout. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to not look. You're going to be seeing me just looking at you at the camera, and we'll see which fragrance gets picked out. The best bit about having a clicker now is I don't have to put my hand over there, step back, and then edit it later on because it looks a bit odd. I can finally actually just stand here and talk to you at the same time. So I'm going to put my hand just here, and I'm going to pick out a random fragrance which is going to go up against this one in the spray off competition. Feels like quite a heavy bottle, that. Oh, okay, so the one that has come out here is Acqua di Parma Fico di Amalfi, a really nice fig fragrance, and meant a lot to me last year, that one. When I had the job interview, so I started a new job last year, wasn't sure which fragrance I wanted to wear, but it was Fico di Amalfi that I chose to wear, and I got the job after it. A very uplifting, unique type of fragrance, which just makes you feel positive and a bit more suitable for this heat wave that we're currently having in the UK. So I'm going to put everything down. I'm going to spray these 2 fragrances against each other, and we will see which one is the strongest. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I really thought that was going to win, but no 2 ways about it. The bright, uplifting fruitiness from Fico di Amalfi has won that round. Now, I'll be honest with you, this one certainly won't last as long as this one, in my opinion, from just general experience. But that start is very nice. That's a really good one. That might do really well today, and it's going to come with me then on my workout. So let's give it quite a lot of sprays, and the next time you see me, we will be out for my run talking about this amazing fragrance, Fico di Amalfi. I'll see you out there. I forgot my clicker. And we are off, and it is another gorgeous morning. If you see many of my videos, I'm normally wearing a big coat at this time, but even today it's going up to 30 Celsius. I can't even rock a coat in that sort of temperatures, but one thing that's not a surprise, of course, is that I'm wearing a fragrance, and today is Acqua di Parma Fico di Amalfi that has won the first spray off competition for today. Now, Fico di Amalfi is probably one of Acqua di Parma's most popular fragrances. It seems like it's one that's most loved online, gets good scores on Fragrantica. It is a unisex fragrance, but it does, for me anyway, lean slightly feminine. A really nice fruity opening that obviously utilises fig as its prominent note, and it's not that fig isn't used a lot in fragrances. It is used actually quite a lot, more than you think, but for it to be the prominent selling point in a niche brand, that's quite impressive, because it's probably not as complex as some notes that you'd expect. Obviously things like vanilla that can be utilised, boozy notes can be utilised more in those statement winter scents, but this is one that is a kind of a summer statement scent. It's got that uniqueness, it's got a bit of musk in the background, and it just gives you those positive energy vibes. It's really nice, and it just makes you feel like you're on vacation essentially. It's like a nice fruity squash. That's kind of what I get from it, with a clean laundry smell in the background. And again, as I said before, I wore this one, I chose this one for a job interview, just because again it's not going to be too aggressive, it's not going to be too cloying. That's never what you want with this one. And I think the reason it obviously won the spray off is because it does have that bright opening. Does it last really long? From my experience, no. Again, if I'm doing a workout this morning, by the end of this run, and it's obviously a hot day, I'm not sure how much it's going to get me through the whole day, but it's great, you know. And the one thing I would say with Acqua di Parma, you do get different bottle sizes for this one, the Blue Mediterranean line. So this one I've got here, I believe is a 150ml bottle. You used to be able to get 150ml and 75ml. They might have even done 50ml or 30ml in the Blue Mediterranean line.
but they have streamlined them a bit more, and they do 100ml bottles now as well. So if you really love this, and I don't think there's any real clone to this one, but you can definitely get it in like different sizes. So you can probably just get one to put in your bag if you really wanted it to get you through the day. But look, it's got that element of classiness about it. You can certainly dress it up, dress it down. And yeah, look, it's better than a workout set, if I'm being honest. But it's fine, because I'm running near the seaside, there's a bit of a sea breeze. It's great. But where I would use this one the most, weddings in the summer, anything where I'm going to put on like a nice flowery shirt, I think that's where this is going to work best. It's very approachable, still feels very modern, and yeah, it's a step up. If you've had like nice fruity citrus scents and you've only paid around that sort of £20 to £30 range in the past, if you try this one, you'll notice that difference in quality of around £100 for it. I personally think it's more than worth it. If you look on All Beauty, that's the best place to get it as well. But yeah, my only criticism would probably be its performance a little bit, but it does exactly what you want it to do. I think if it was too strong, that fruitiness would be too aggressive and it wouldn't be as versatile. So actually, I think, to be honest, it's probably hit the sweet spot on what it's meant to do, and that is why it is so popular. Now, for those of you that haven't seen episode 1 or any of my other videos before for these fragrance reviews, I do just want to kind of give a quick mention to our runner-up of that first round of the spray off, which is Bentley Infinite Intense. And again, for many of you that have tried Bentley fragrances, it's most likely going to be Bentley for Men Intense that you've tried, and maybe Bentley for Men Absolute. They tend to be the two that have always been the most popular, the most talked about. And even some of the other ones in that range, like Silver Lake, there's Bentley for Men, but just the original Bentley for Men as well, they do get quite a lot of attention. But it's this one here, Bentley Infinite Intense, I don't think gets much attention at all. And to be honest, I kind of understand why. From my first experience of this, my dad bought me it when he was buying me and my brother fragrances when we were kind of 18, 19 and not so interested in scents. And I remember putting it on again as a 19, 20-year-old who hadn't really tried any scents before. It felt very grown up, and it is quite a serious fragrance. It's quite smoky, it's quite strong on the pepper, and for a younger person who's used to those more citrus aquatic type scents, I can see why they wouldn't particularly like this one. But over time, when you've tried more fragrances, and ultimately you get good comments. The first time I wore this a lot, I remember it was in a reception job, and loads of the women in the desk stopped and said, "Oh, Harry, you smell really nice." And again, it's very funny how if someone says a nice thing about what you're wearing, how quickly your opinion can change. And that's what happened with this one. I got good comments on it, and I was like, do you know what? Maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. But as I've got older, I think I'm enjoying it more because I've tried more fragrances, and it kind of suits me now. I feel like it's a fragrance for over 30s, 30 and up, or those who have experienced noses of spicy, smoky scents. And it's great, it's lovely. There's a nice citrus background to it, but it's all about that pepper for me. And it's extremely masculine. It does remind you of someone who's driving a Bentley, but don't think because it doesn't get mentioned at all that it's a bad fragrance. Yes, it doesn't get mentioned like Momentum or the Bentley for Men Intenses, but it's very good, and it's one that I think goes under the radar, and it's a quiet compliment getter. It's stronger than you think sometimes, this one, and if you're in those office jobs where you're dressing smart casual, you'll get a lot of good attention with it. So I think this has got signature scent potential about it, and the fact it's been compared to Terre Hermes, I think it's a sign it is good. Terre Hermes is a very popular fragrance, and this definitely has that DNA with a slight, well, definite twist to it, and I think that's a real good thing. And it's only about £20. I think it's more than worth it. I think it's another one that really just justifies price, like Vico D'Amalfi. So yeah, if you've not tried this one, try and get your nose on it at some point as well, because it's got a uniqueness that will certainly stand out. If I had 100 fragrances lined up and I had to blind smell them, I'd definitely be able to notice this. And yeah, that's a sign it's got something about it, a bit of character.
Workout done. I cannot moan about being too hot, even though I am absolutely sweltering today. But I always moan about it being cold. But I want to give a massive, massive praise there to Vico D'Amalfi. It performed really, really well. Now, look, can I still smell it kind of in the air like this at the minute? No, I can't. But it's definitely still clinging to my clothing. And there were certain moments, a good hour and a half into my ride, I did a 2-hour run there, where I could still smell the fragrance. And that kind of comes down to the fact the oils in this are really high quality. I always think of Active Palm almost as the gold standard for those really nice, naturalistic, outdoors, summery type fragrances. That's where I think they really thrive, on those citrus clean type of fragrances. And this one, it's not got a DNA again where you'd expect it to last too long, but in that opening you can overspray. So if you get a big bottle like this, you can certainly overspray a bit more, and I never will get sick of this DNA. If you've not tried this one, I really recommend it. But will it get through the next round of my spray art competition. So I've left my box here, drawer. I'm just going to pick out a random one now. Oh, okay. So Selvigny by Maison Tahiti. I think that's how it's pronounced. This is very much a powdery vanilla type scent. It smells a little bit like a sun cream. It's got C notes in it, and it's the vanilla that's really prominent in this. It kind of just has that coconut vibe, even though I don't believe coconut is a listed note in this. I believe there should be some florals in this as well, because it smells like there's like a jasmine or a yang in it as well. I think this is in trouble. This is coming with me on holiday soon, by the way, because it won my competition. If you haven't seen that video, please check that one out. But are we ready? 3, 2, 1. It's not even a contest. That's one. This is a monster performer. I think I might sneeze in a second as well with this, but yeah, that's very strong. That's very prominent, and yeah, we got to put it on. I don't know though. To be honest with you, do I prefer this scent to the one I've just been wearing? No, I don't. It's heavy because it's got those sweet vanillic notes in it. It does make it strong, but this is one where I think it certainly could get noticed at the gym today. I'm going to spray a little bit more. I'll probably make myself sneeze. But it is good. There's nothing poor about it in terms of its composition. It feels like a high quality scent, and yeah, we'll talk about it as I head to the gym. So yeah, let's go and get myself all ready, and yeah, I'll see you out there.
So Maison Tahiti Selvigny. Yeah, it's probably not a fragrance that many people know, and I actually think that's one of its biggest positives for me. I like choosing brands and choosing fragrances that maybe are more niche, and sometimes they can smell really good, and I always think when you get that and someone notices them, you tend to get some really good conversations going, because it's like, oh, I haven't heard of that. And I've had people who have asked me, well, what am I wearing? They go, I've never heard of that. And then they start Googling it. Then they start getting an interest in fragrances. It's a good sort of starting point. It makes you realise that you don't have to get those kind of mainstream smells to get good comments. And there's no two ways about it. With these ones, I've got two of them. I've got Cacao Squared and Selvigny, and they're both really strong. And to be honest, probably my criticism of them is that they're all centred around sort of one note. So obviously Cacao Squared is centred around chocolate. Selvigny's obviously centred around vanilla, and they do some coffee ones, which my brothers have as well. And they tend to do 2 or 3 fragrances around those notes. Just from my experience of them, that main note, that prominent note which they're trying to push the fragrance on, is a little bit too aggressive. The blend on them isn't my favourite. The quality of the oils is great, but Cacao Squared, for example, it's so heavy on the chocolate. And initially, I really liked that because it smelled so natural and realistic that it almost tempted me to buy it. But then when I bought it, I thought, it doesn't really smell too much like a fragrance. It's just too heavy on that one note, and it kind of cheapens it for me. And they're not that cheap. I mean, they're sort of £90 for a 100ml bottle. And again, the quality I cannot fault, so I don't feel ripped off with it. I just think the blend lets it down a little bit. But they are loud, they are strong, and they will make you stand out. And there's no two ways about it. On a day like today, where we are pushing now probably mid-20s Celsius, yeah, it's certainly kicking up that vanilla. Again, this one's got a nice sort of sun cream vibe about it, so it doesn't feel too wrong. And the C notes are pretty prominent in this, so I'll give it its due. But the vanilla does feel separate from it, and yeah, it will take over as the next sort of 2 to 3 hours go on. So I'm expecting to notice it quite a lot at the gym. It probably will be quite cloying. But yeah, that means in terms of a spray off competition, which obviously we've just done, it's a definite winner. And yeah, we'll do another round when we get back.
And we are back, and another workout is done. Now, how did Selvigny perform during my exercise at the gym? To be honest, not as well as I was expecting to. And look, I'm probably quite glad about that. As I said to you, I was worried it was going to be a little bit cloying, but actually it was fine. I think this one will be stronger when I take it on holiday with me out in the sunshine, when I'm wearing a top like this that might just sort of soak in those sun rays. It's not as reflective. I think that's when it's going to be more cloying. But actually in the gym, where there's obviously air conditioning on today, no direct sunlight on me, it was absolutely fine. So I was quite happy with that, and actually exceeded my expectations. Do I still love the fragrance? No. Hopefully during this holiday it's going to give me a positive scent memory. I will prefer it then. But we will have to do one more round today before we go next on to episode 3. Can anything take Selvigny off its perch? So I'm going to take that lid off, put my hand in here, and we've got Police Extreme. So I'm just going to very quickly talk about Police Extreme, just in case it doesn't win this round, because I'm not expecting it to. It's a blue fragrance. It's very much in the mould of a Dior Sauvage, a Bleu de Chanel, but obviously on a much, much lower level. Really good dumb reach. Again, it's perfect for a gym bag because it's very, very thin compared to this bottle, which is much more rounded, so you can slip this one in a pocket absolutely fine. Atomizer is terrible on a lot of these police fragrances, and unfortunately this one is as well. which is why I've stopped using it, because actually it's a very nice fragrance other than that, but it just doesn't really work. So I'm going to have to spray this one a few times, and this one maybe just not quite so much, just to make it more fair. But look, get like one spray out of it. Rubbish, isn't it? So I'm going to leave it for a second anyway, and then I'll do the spray off. But it is a very good fragrance for around £10–11. Getting a bit of a smell of it in the end. There's definitely a bit of like that ambroxan type smell to it. It's very easy to give as a gift as well. For someone who's younger, quite sporty, that's where this really suits. Certainly not a dress up, but perfect for those dumb reach occasions, going to the shops, going to the beach. Day like today, it'll work really well. So I'm going to go for it. So 3, 2, 1. Actually got a bit more out of that than I thought. Do you know? I think it might have won. I'm going to do it again because I'm sort of can't believe this would actually win. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give it to this. I'm going to give it to Police Extreme. I cannot believe I'm saying that. But look, it is very synthetic, this one, and maybe that's lending itself to that really quite strong performance in the opening. I've never found this to be a particularly bad performer, but I did not expect that, hence why I sort of gave you the information about this fragrance beforehand. So this one will be going into the next round. This one will be going against another fragrance in episode 3 to see if it's coming with me on my run. But very impressed with that, and again, get one with a decent atomizer, hopefully, fingers crossed. A bit of luck at the draw with these. Then this is a great fragrance, really recommend it. Again, easy to pull off, blue fragrance. Police line, they have plenty of good ones in these bottle shapes. Definitely recommend these ones over the skull shaped fragrances, which, yeah, not been overly as impressed with so far. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one today. Yeah, going to put this one on now because it actually feels like the perfect day for it anyway. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and episode 3 to come very soon. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you for that one.